Hey, welcome into Ducks Recap here on the Halos in the Infield Network. I am your host, Todd Fox, getting it going tonight on a Thursday as the Ducks close out the brief two-game homestand to start the season with a loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. The Canes are a good hockey team, as we know from last night, watching the Ducks get a 4-3 win against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Ducks versus the Panthers, or the Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes. Now they are 4-0. This is a team that is obviously been in the Eastern Conference Finals a couple years in a row. They're a good hockey team, and they proved it. The Ducks had some really good, finesse passing. They had some chances early to get some goals and to possibly, take the lead at one point when they crawled back into it after going down 2-0. And then the wheels fell off as they had too many turnovers. Basically, they got the puck deep inside the zone, and bad things happened after that, which you would think they did create some scoring chances, but there was a lot of pucks left out in the ice that just they wish they could have had some of those shots back. Some nice setups there, but we'll get more into that. First off, you're talking to Todd Fox here as we welcome you in again on the Heedy Network. We're by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We are in the stands with you watching the games. Dominic Lorenz not here tonight. He's going out of town, just like the Ducks are on a 5-game road trip after this one, as they go down to the Canes tonight, split the home series, not home and home. They're 1-1 at home and they're 1-1 on the road. So 2-2 to start the season in the first four before hitting the 5-game road trip. First off, brought to you part by 714 Tickets. For the ticket prices that you want and need and crave, go to 714 Tickets and get those tickets on discount from us on the Apply Now code. You can type in HITI, get 10% off your purchase. The price you see is the price you get. So if you get a $38 ticket, well, guess what? It's $38. No hidden fees, no service charges. So the Ducks go down tonight 4-1. You would say, damn, this is a frustrating game. And I would say, yes, it was. There was plenty of opportunities for the Ducks to get an equalizing goal. I thought Dostal made some very good saves. There was a fight at the end of the second period, which led to Dostal coming out and having to back up his boys. That was nice to see. But the Ducks in general tonight, I thought missed on just had some bad luck, number one. And number two, when they had those opportunities, odd man rushes, or they were crashing the zone, they turned the puck over a few times, and it just led to odd man rushes for the Canes going back the other way, putting Dostal on an island by himself a couple times. Shorthanded, they gave a couple shorthanded opportunities over to the Canes. So it was frustrating, but again, if you look at who's coaching this team and what kind of up tempo hockey that he wants to instill in these guys, well, this is what you're going to get. You're going to have some times where you get some odd man rushes and you're going to, leave your defenseman on an island or your goalie. There's going to be some issues there and they're just going to have to fight through it. But I think for the most part, Ducks played a pretty good game tonight, all things considered. And again, this is a very, very good hockey team in the Carolina Hurricanes. They played very physical. As you see that, the East Coast kind of hockey, big, burly guys trying to knock out our young rooks, and they did a good job of that. And the whole thing is to intimidate the opponent, and they did that a lot tonight. But credit to the Ducks. I mean, they still were trying to be very good with and clean with their passes to offset the heavy hits, to try to free up space on the ice, and they did a decent job most of the game at doing that. But when you're that aggressive and you're trying to get goals and you're trying to push the puck and just keep the puck in your zone, you're gonna take the risk of turning the puck over. And I thought that was big time why they lost the game tonight. Too many turnovers in their offensive zone. And they had their chances on the power play tonight, too. We'll go over that right now. And in fact, we'll do that right now. The team stats for this one. The Ducks, for the second straight home game, were outshot this time 31-24. The Ducks had more hits. Even though it felt like the Hurricanes had twice as many hits, The Ducks had 31 hits to 19. Faceoffs, they won too. So the Ducks won 34-24 in total faceoffs. The Ducks, though, I think this is one that's going to kick them because they did have some opportunities on the power play. They just couldn't. I mean, they had the passes, the setups, the right guys cutting. They just couldn't get the puck to the guy, or they just missed or whiffed on the rebound because there was a couple shots that came off the goalie that they had an opportunity to put in the net and couldn't do it. They went 0 for 4 on the power play. 5 total penalties for the Ducks to 7 for the Canes. You like that? So far, the Ducks have been playing a lot cleaner than last year, much better. So you could take the good with the bad right there. They blocked 16 shots. Both teams did. 14 minutes total for the Canes to 10 for the Ducks. 4 takeaways for the Canes, which is key, and 1 for the Ducks. So giveaways were 22-15 in favor of the Canes. And all, you look at it, and if the puck just bounced a different way a couple times, this game is likely a 3-2 Ducks win, I believe. But they just did not have the luck on some of those pucks that were right there with a net wide open, or, another one off the post. And again, maybe a turnover right when you had a dude set up with a wide open shot. I felt Dostal did an excellent job behind the net tonight. He was faced with a lot of, like I said, odd man rushes, rebounds, off the side of the wall, and just crisp passes, point blank shots. And he did the best he could. So I think Dostal will go over the box score real quick and give you our 3 stars of the game. For the Ducks, or for the Canes, I should say, Seth Jarvis scored his 4th goal already of the season with the assist from Shane Gostapierre or whatever. I'm going to be brutalizing names all year. Get used to it. I'll be a serial killer with the names. The Canes got that assist right there to make it 1-0. The goal, I should say, 14:54 of the first period. And then Seth Jarvis said, you know what? I want a 5th goal. And that's what he got. Assist from Jackson Blake and Shane Goatee BS here. 2-0 right there. And I should say this real quick. If you were watching the whole game, if you were paying attention, Jackson Blake was a dick. He hit our boy, our young kid, Besecny or whatever, bisectomy. He hit him when they got in the scrum. He hit him back in set. He hit him back. But Blake was throwing elbows and fists. He got a minor. He threw a stick at one of our players as well. Got a 2-minute minor. So he was a dick tonight. He definitely was, and you wouldn't expect it from a guy who's not all that big. But Jackson Blake was definitely one of the guys pushing around and trying to intimidate our players. But after his assist to Jarvis, it was 2-0, and it looked kind of hopeless. But credit to the Ducks. Exactly a minute later, 11:32 of the second period, Leo Carlson would score a goal from assist from Kilron and Helson to make it 2-1. But then early on in the third period, you had Alexander Nikishin scoring his first ever goal. The rookie would find the net right there. The Sebastian Aho would get his 5th assist along with Goddess B here. That would be his 6th assist. So homeboy, man, Goddess Beer is tearing it up with those assists. And then Seth Jarvis would get into the points again with a late assist to Sebastian Aho, would score his first goal. And it was 4-1 right there. So Carolina improves to 4-0. They've got 8 points total out the gate. So good for them. They are undefeated to start the season. But again, the Ducks gave them all they could handle for a couple periods right there. And I felt the third period, they sort of just weighed them down right there. So Connor checking in over there on TikTok saying Kane's penalty kill is insane. Also, no Salvin. Slavin, I should say. But yeah, they did a good job on the penalty kill, and obviously that helps every time when you're playing a good, fast, speedy hockey team like the Ducks. But credit where credit's due right there. The Canes getting the job done defensively right there. So there you go. So the Ducks got the goal. Again, I would take this away from the game tonight. You played a team that's going to likely go deep into the NHL Eastern Conference playoffs again. and you played toe to toe with them. You just have to clean some things up. You have to execute. And I think that this team is far better than last year and obviously far better than 2024. So, with that being said, you get a few more guys maybe in free agency or through the trade next year, and this team could be even better. I'm only talking about next year because this year's a stepping stone. And I think that this year, what I said from the last game's post game was I think this team should sneak into the postseason this year, get their feet wet, get some experience for the young kids, and they'll come back a little bit harder next year. We have a good coaching staff. This is a good squad, and they're going to play toe to toe with these teams. They're not always going to come out on top, but you're going to get some surprises this year. They're going to beat some teams that you think they might not be able to. Maybe they knock off Tampa Bay. Maybe they go toe to toe with Tampa Bay, but lose in overtime. Stuff like that's going to happen. And then you're going to have a game where maybe you lose 5-0 to San Jose, or you lose 4-0 to Chicago. Stuff happens. This is going to be a Jekyll and Hyde team as far as until the coaching staff can instill that new culture. Again, this is a veteran coach, first time with the Ducks. And again, he's got all kinds of playoff experience under him in coaching. And now he's coaching one of the youngest, if not the youngest, teams in all of hockey. So he's got his work cut out for him. And I think the Ducks will be fine. Like I said, they're going to have these growing pains. They're going to have a game or two that's just going to suck, and you're going to be scratching your head. Are we really that good, or are we really that bad? But it's okay. But it's okay because it's part of a process. It's something that we could say as Ducks fans that we can't say about the Angels because their organization's so effed up. But at least with this one, you can see the fact that the Ducks are making improvements and vast improvements. Again, if you notice this season, the way they start power play rushes, it's the same way every time. They're trying to get consistency there, and I appreciate that. I think the passing is way better. It's going to lead to good things because the more and more you're trying to get those timing shots, the slap shots or the wristers, or trying to find guys that cut you, the more time you spend on the ice with them, the better, and the sense of where you can expect that player to be cutting towards the particular part of the ice where you can hit him with a nice soft shot or pass, or you can set yourself up in front of the goalie and understand that so and so is going to hit shoot a wrister towards the net, and you can put your stick up to try to redirect it on a to the netminder. So there's a lot that the Ducks can do to continue with this good play that it'll pay off. You're starting to see more again of what we didn't see, or what we've seen in the past and we didn't see the last couple of years. And they've been putting the puck on net a lot. And again, the more you do that, the good things will happen. You'll get some of those oops by the goalies, and then you'll get those rebounds that'll go right to one of your teammates, and they can knock it in. So if my advice to the Ducks is keep it up. Keep it up and keep pressuring, but clean it up a little bit on the defense. Maybe go with that mindset of trying to crash the net, but not so much to where you leave your defenseman on an island. That's the only thing that I've seen that I'm complaining so far about. I think the penalties have been cleaned up really good. I think the shots on goal are nice, but because we're pushing a little too hard, in my opinion, it's leading to too many opportunities for the opponent going back the other way. And if we can clean that up, I think that's going to help the Ducks out. And also, um, uh, when there's all a scrum for the puck behind the netminder for us, like Dostal or backup goalie, you got to get it out of there quickly. And we've had a couple turnovers when there's too much of us crowded around, and that leads to open shots for the opponent. So there's a couple things. So again, for me as an Angels fan, and for me as an Angels fan, I really feel um more positive about this Ducks team than I do the Angels. I really feel that and I'll have some Ducks jerseys and stuff up here soon. It's just I hadn't had the time to switch some stuff out, but it's just look, it's gonna be one of those seasons where it's gonna be on a learning curve. And I think at the end of the day, um, where right now there's more positives to look at with the Ducks than there are the Angels for obvious reasons. But my advice to you is watch these games. Even if you're a first timer to the channel, we're going to be covering the Ducks and the Angels, and any breaking news of the Angels will break in. But we're going to be riding with the Ducks all season. We'll have a podcast this Sunday, ready for Monday morning to recap the week that was Ducks hockey, the first week of the season, kind of break it down, and then get into the preview of that big road trip coming up. Like Morbius says over there on Instagram, 5-game, or on TikTok, I should say, there's a 5-game road trip coming up, and it's going to be an interesting one. So it would be great to come back to the Honda Center, and if we can go 3-2 on the road trip, come home above 500, that would be a good move, and a good feeling for this team. So I like what I'm seeing, and if the Ducks can continue to pressure and keep this offense rolling, steadily improve on the offensive side, even though they gave up a goal tonight in the power play, I do like the fact that they're, despite what is it, I think they're 1 for 3 tonight, the Canes. They still looked better defensively playing the puck. I do like the fact that they weren't sitting back, and they haven't been so passive in just a box, allowing the other team to stay in their zone, tire them out, with passes until they get that shot on. So last year's again, their penalty killing is a lot better than it was in previous seasons. So a lot to take out of this as a positive. Final thought on the game is I don't like moral victories, but in tonight's game, I have to give it up for a moral victory for the Angels, for the Ducks. Only one goal scored again tonight for the Ducks, so we'll say that was Leo Carlson with the assist from Alex Killhorn and Drew Hilson. 11:32 of the second period. So the 3 stars tonight, unfortunately, they're gonna go to Canes tonight. Actually, no, I'll give one to Distol. I'll give him the 3rd star of the game because although he gave up 4 goals technically, he could have gave up 8 or 9 tonight. He stopped 5 amazing shots with wristers, poking one away, or catching one with a glove hand saves, I should say, not wristers. But he made some really good saves tonight, kept the Ducks in it for most of the game. So I think he deserves a star, even though he allowed 4 goals. That you might disagree, but it is what it is. And then you got, I would say, 2nd star would be Shane Got Us Be Here. That dude had 3 assists tonight, so he had the hat trick with assists. And then Seth Jarvis will be your number 1 star of the game. 2 big goals to get the Canes going, and he got the game winner. Funny enough, early or midway through the second period. Who knew that was going to be the game winner? But that was the game winner on the power play. The only power play scored by the Canes. But again, Distall did a nice job tonight. 27 out of 31 saves. Not bad, but you would like him to. Look, again, if the Ducks get another goal or 2, it's a different story. But he did the best he could tonight. And again, I'm not going to kill him for allowing the 4 goals because again, he was pressured all night tonight. So it is what it is. But the Ducks got that W or the loss tonight, and they'll look to get a W on the road again. 5-game road trip coming up. Get into a few comments here over on YouTube before I get out of here. Demetrio says Canes too experienced for us, but we showed signs of competing. Absolutely. Dan Rio says Ola and Quack Quack. That's the great team they lost to. Absolutely. There's no shame in that. Demetrio also says I can tell teams are going to try to punk Seneki. They are. And they did tonight. Andrew says, honestly, not too bad of a loss. I know the score was 4-1, but facing one of the best teams is fine. The loss to Seattle was more infuriating than this one. Absolutely, Andrew. That was a tough loss in game 1. Demetrio agrees right there. Also, Demetrio says, like Todd said, Quenneville is going to have the deactivating often. Gonna be up and down, but a fun year. And that's the whole thing you could take out of it is it's going to be a fun season either way. Demetrio says that's how he ran Duncan Keith, Campbell, and Seabrook in Chicago. And you saw what the kind of results he had in Chicago. That Chicago was one of the best teams in hockey there for a few years. Speaking of the Angels, Pujols or Torrey Hunter, it won't be both. And right now, the way the Angels are doing it, they could lose all of them because they're waiting on this case. The Skaggs case is in the middle. More deposition going on to tomorrow in Santa Ana court. So, yeah. And no baby oil tonight, Archangel, for the Ducks as they go down tonight. So I appreciate everybody checking us out. We're going to be doing these shows. These shows aren't going to be too long, especially when I'm running it solo. So they'll be like 20 to 30 minutes when I'm doing it solo. When we get Zach back on here on the road trip, or we get Dominique, it'll be a lot longer and we'll have more interaction. But for tonight, was short and sweet. And again, just take the good with the bad, and just be happy the Ducks competed. Nice job by them tonight, and we look forward to seeing what they do on Sunday, starting that 5-game road trip. I believe starts in Chicago. So, with that being said, I'm Todd Fox. Look for more Ducks hockey and stay on this network and your social media for local breaking news of your Angels. I know it's rough right now seeing the stupid ass fucking Dodgers likely going to win another World Series and buy one in their way to buying another World Series in this corrupt Major League Baseball. I'm telling you, the other day, real quick before I get out of here, it's been very disappointing to watch the Angels, but then also to have those fucks up north to be good. And then you're sitting there and you're like, damn, dude, like if the league was actually legit and fair and balanced, they wouldn't be able to do this shit. But it is what it is. And they're taking the advantage of the rules. And hey, there's not much I could say about it but be frustrated and complain. I mean, because other than that, I mean, I don't see anybody beating them, dude. I mean, I don't know how you can go. That's like a freaking super team, dude. Like, oh, our bullpen doesn't work. Let's just use a bunch of starters who could be aces on any other team. Sure. And it's like somebody's playing with a big time remote control and it works. So at this point, Dan is asking about Kurt Suzuki. It doesn't fucking matter who manages his team. It literally doesn't. Because in the end, Artie Moreno, Carpino, and all those other losers in the front office are running and paying for this crap, and it's going nowhere. Artie's got to go. And then I'll be excited. Again, I really don't care who they hire. It does not matter to me because they'll still find a way to strike out 3,000 times next year because they don't care about, they're in love with the analytics. So nothing's going to change till he goes. And so today in the Skaggs case, you had all kinds of shit going on. They're bad mouthing Tyler Skaggs. I mean, there was a reason why you didn't see Skaggs on the Jumbotron and you didn't see Aiden Hart for the first time in forever in the montage at Angel Stadium because, you have to phase that dark period out. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to say that he was a drug dealer or a druggie. They're downplaying everything. They said a lot of bad stuff in deposition today about Skaggs, and hey, they're trying to save Artie's keister because he could be facing up to $700 million in penalties. And see what was revealed today is that they knew about the drug issue from the what is it called, the guy who was running. I forgot his name, but they knew about his drug activities for 2 years. So that's why this case is where it's at, and only if we have an incompetent paid off jury, there's no reason why right now they should throw the book at the Angels organization. I fucking hope they do. I hope they freaking do. But for right now, man, there's just not much other than that. They're in the middle of the case. We won't know for another week or two, depending on how long it takes and how long it's going to take for everyone to get their depositions in because they've been calling players to testify as well. So an interesting one I want to know about. I know I'm rambling here, but Andrew Heaney, he was teammates with him. He was roommates with him. He was best friends with him. I know that fucker was on drugs. Listen, I love Tyler Skaggs like a lot of you guys, but he was inconsistent as hell. And there's a reason why he was inconsistent because half the time he was high and half the time he wasn't. I think Skaggs could have been a Chuck Finley if he stayed sober. But because of the dude that worked for the Angels, because his drug problems, it happened the way it did. And it sucks, but hey, again, we'll see how liable that Angels organization are. I think they're going to be found guilty, but just for how much. And then after that, we'll move on to the audit. But right now, the stadium's quiet, and it seems like everything that's working negative for the Angels, you can look across literally to the pond and see everything positive over there. We've got a brand new stadium that likely, when it could be refurbished by the time the Olympics come around completely. And if that's the case, they're going to be, hosting some Olympic events. You got the OC Vibe, which should be in phase 2 by the time the Olympics are on. So phase 1 will be fully functional by next year. And so phase 2 could be possibly done depending on how fast they build it. And then we'll see if what role Artie plays, because Artie will play a huge role in phase 3, whether the Ducks work with the city of Anaheim and Disney. They're trying to get that trifecta back, and we'll see. We will see. Hopefully by then we will have a new Angels owner. That's what I'm hoping on. Right now, if you ask me, are you watching baseball? Fuck no. Are you mad about baseball? Absolutely. It's just there's nothing positive. And when I'm seeing all these Reddits and I'm seeing all this online stuff about, hey, who are we gonna get? Who are we gonna trade for? Who's gonna be the we're not getting nobody. We're not signing a damn guy. If we're gonna bargain basement Pittsburgh Pirates shop, if that, we're not getting Pujols. There's a reason why he's interviewing somewhere else. We're not getting him because we waited too long. Because basically the organization is on pause. It is literally on pause until this whole Skaggs thing is taken care of, and then the audit has to be taken care of. So you're talking about they could go into February without even making a move because they won't. We could be like weeks from pitchers and catchers reporting, and they won't make a move because of all the scandal and bullshit that needs to be taken care of first. The city wants their bite out of the Angels too, and they deserve it. My friend that's in the city council has been feeding me shit, and I'm telling you, they smell blood in the water, and they really want Artie out of there because they know he won't work with them. So I'm really hoping that oh, a mercy save comes from the Samuelis and they take the Angels. That would be the all-time thing to happen. But for right now, um it's day by day with the Angels. That's why like I'm trying to immerse myself in the Ducks. And look, I went on a freaking 9-minute rant about the Angels. They're just the most frustrating franchise out there. You know what I mean? It's like it's so freaking embarrassing sometimes. And it just makes things absolutely 1,000 times worse to see that cheating ass team up north continue to do their thing. Okay. So getting back to it, enough is enough. Ducks lost to a very good team tonight. So don't take this one on the chin. It's not that bad. I think Demetrio said it or Andrew said they lost a game to the Kraken. That hurt more because the Kraken suck. I think the Ducks have jumped them as far as talent and as far as ability. And now it's execution. So let's execute on this road trip. Let's take 3 out of 5, come home above 500. Now, last thing I got on anything related to the page is this. We have a softball game coming up next Saturday, the 25th. I'll put the link out there one more time, either tomorrow or Sunday to sign up. And then you get, we're going to be hanging out. We might have some food up there free, but there's going to be free shirts and other little goodies there. Fun for the kids. It's going to be awesome for the adults too, because we're going to have a kids game and a couple adults games. So we're hoping that as many of you Heedy people can show up and support us as well. And it helps us out, Top Fan Rivalries, and a few other pages. So check on that. If you can make it the 25th this Saturday, I would be happy for you guys to be there and have fun with us and play some softball, man, for a good cause. So that being said, this has been Todd Fox. This has been Ducks hockey recap and a little bit of Angels news. And we will see you guys on Sunday night after probably a lot of football and the Ducks hockey and hopefully another W. So with that being said, stay tuned and subscribe to anything social media or check out our Substack as well. We'll have some Ducks content up there as well. A lot of Angel stuff. Have a good night, folks.